Yeah, I thought they came out right from the start, and we talked about playing with great effort. And Arizona matched us early, and they every punch we took, they took. We were trading blows, but we just felt hopefully our depth would wear them down, and we have an opportunity. But I think our defense really set the tone for us. We talk about response after turnover all the time, and I thought, something we practice, something we really take a lot of pride in. I thought they did an unbelievable job today.
Well, I think that's where it all starts is, Arizona had a couple of tremendous opportunities early on, and your defense came out. They didn't flinch. They just went right to work.
No, we talk about our preparation, our effort, and our attitude, and those are three things we control, and I thought that's what we got from everybody tonight. You're going to make mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes in this game, but, you prepare. We had a great week of practice. We play every game like it's a Super Bowl. People can laugh at that, but we don't care. That's what we do. And that's what we're all about. We prepared well. We had a great attitude. And we had great effort, and the result ended up being pretty favorable for us. So.
Line of scrimmage is where it looked like it all started. You held Arizona to less than 100 yards rushing, made them one-dimensional, and then didn't give up any explosion plays, which was really key.
No, really, really excited. Our pass defense takes all 11 guys. We got a good rush on a real good quarterback, and then I thought our secondary really responded. Kids like Efo, kids like Troy Hill, really made some big-time plays. And, obviously, you score twice on defense. That's pretty special. You usually don't lose when you score on defense. But just the enthusiasm our guys played with, their effort and their attitude, I thought was outstanding.
And third down defense, too, 6 of 17. And you guys have been good all season long.
We have, and we need to continue to be good, So it's a long season, but we're real excited, and our goal every week is to be 1-0 on Saturday night, and so far so good. So.
Well, 14 of those points scored by the defense, but you guys scored 31 points off turnovers. The offense looked like they were feeding off what the defense did tonight.
They do, and it's a true team. We feed off each other. We got one punt return that I think spurred us. So special teams is contributing there, and it's a total team. These guys are awesome to be around, fun group. So.
Easy for young guys to lose patience in a game like that when, as you talked about, you guys were just trading punches back and forth, 13-0 at halftime, and yet I thought one of the things you guys did a great job of is just staying patient and staying with it.
Yeah, we knew going in. I mean, Arizona, they beat Oklahoma State, who was a Big 12 champ last year. They beat Toledo, who was the MAC champ last year. It's a good football team. So, we don't expect that we're going to come in and, have our way with anybody. We got to go earn it, and they certainly made us go earn it today.
And Colt Lyerla, a nice little weapon and a different wrinkle to where you put him in the backfield. A great athlete, a powerful athlete, and yet great hands. It's nice to have a guy like that who can play a lot of different positions.
It is, and as Colt continues to, get, involved in the offense, there's certain things he can do, and he's, we'll continue to use him in different manners, but we're real conscious of what to put on his plate, and we have a little package, and, we'll see if maybe we can expand on that next week. But, he's really come a long way in terms of his preparation, and really proud of where he is right now.
And a couple of your youngsters, Stanford, Addison, made big plays on offense.
They did, and we threw them right in game one, knowing we knew those guys just because of the way they were in preseason camp, that they don't get flustered. They don't, nothing's too big for them, and came up really big, both Dwayne and Braylon today, and that was good to see.
So that ends a 4-game homestand. Now you go on the road, and it's always tough in this league on the road.
It is, and that's what this deal's all about. But, we'll regroup. We'll come watch film tomorrow and get back at it on Monday and prepare for our first road game. And that's what this conference is all about. You got to be able to win on the road. So step one for winning on the road will be Monday practice.
All right, Coach. We'll look forward to talking to you next week. Congratulations again on the game tonight.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right, Jerry, back up to you.
Guys, I have Ryan Jackson, Deion Jordan in the other room. We'll go ahead and take questions for Coach. Please wait for the mic. Go ahead.
Chip, we know, learned over the last few years, you're not afraid to go for it on fourth down in virtually any situation. How much is that confidence in your offense that you can get? How much is it confidence in the defense?
It's both. I'm not adverse to putting our defense on the field on a short field because I know how they play. I think it's got to be both. It can't be just total confidence on one side. We feel like on fourth down we can get it. And if the situation dictates it, then we'll go for it. The first one we made a mistake. We weren't all on the same page, and a little bit of a bust. But our defense went out, and that's what I think. And turn it over on fourth down like that, to us that we consider that a turnover. So again, our response after turnover, and that's the one stat that we really talk about. I thought was outstanding, and that's a difference in a football game.
Coach, what does that defensive performance rank, even going back to your days back east in New Hampshire?
It was the best one tonight.
It was the best or was not?
Best one tonight. I don't compare. I don't know. We've shut out people before. I mean, I'm not into look up the research and all those other things, but just really, 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 really proud of those guys. But that's how they prepared all week in practice, and that's what this deal is all about. You know, every Saturday is a test for us. You know, football 101, and if you're going to get an A on a test, then you better prepare for it, and that's what these guys did all week long. So.
Huge game from Etho this week. You know, multiple defensive stops, the interception for the touchdown. You know, how big was that performance tonight?
Really big. You know, and I think like any secondary kid, you got to have a short memory because he had a couple pass interference calls, but bounced back from them. And you know, we always preach about playing the next snap, and Efo certainly did, and really happy for him. And you know, he was a lot like Braylon and Dwayne last year as a true freshman. Just the game was never too big for him. And now you got a kid that played in 14 games for us last year, and now he's got 4 under his belt. He's got 18 games under his belt, and he's still a sophomore. So real happy for him. And that's what we thought, you know, we had when we first got him here a year ago in August, and it showed up again tonight. So.
Coach, could you talk about Colt's performance and the decision to use him in that capacity? Was that based on giving them a wrinkle that obviously wasn't on tape before?
No, I mean, we didn't think of that. It's a package we've been working on, and you know, after we feel comfortable in practice and run it enough times in practice where we feel like, you know, that this is something we want to execute and put it in a game. You know, not a high maintenance thing. You know, if you got to spend a lot of time coaching it during the week, then you probably shouldn't run it on Saturday. But I think, you know, obviously we've got depth on the offensive side of the ball. It's an opportunity to get Brian Bennett in a game. It's an opportunity to get Colt at a different position that he can use, and that's what we're going to do because our depth will be tested as the season continues to go along. But our job as coaches, real simple, is just to put those guys in position where they can make plays and then get out of the way and let them go play, and that's what they did tonight.
And can you talk about how he did it with the job he had tonight?
He had 7 carries for 63 yards. Fired me up. I was jacked up.
Chip,
Yeah.
6 times into the red zone, and you held. Talk about your red zone defense. They really bowed their necks tonight and played really well in the red zone.
They did, and a lot of it was us, you know, on offense, not doing the, you know, not finishing in certain situations. But, you know, I think that's the great thing about this team is you know, we don't have a lot of finger guys. You know, we got a lot of thumb guys. And, you know, we'll take care of it, and that's what our defense, you know, just ran out in the field. They don't care, and they're competitors, and they want to go on the field in those situations, and they actually embrace those situations, which is pretty cool. And it's we got a lot of really good things on film that we can teach off of. But you know, hopefully we can continue to build, and that's what, you know, it's a long season. It's still just game 4 for us. So.
Chip, you're talking about preparation, and your guys are defensively talking about the same thing. Just that how hard they felt like they were.
Kind of weird how we're on the same page.
What's your confidence level when you get through to the end of a week of practice that you kind of know what to expect from guys? I mean, I don't know if you expected 49-0 or if you expected them to have a shutout effort, but what's your confidence level in that regard once they put together a week like that?
Yeah, I don't. You know, it's a good question, Rob. We don't put a point total on it or think about it that way. But it's, you know, it's almost like you studied really hard for the exam and you can't wait for the professor to put it on your desk. You know, like and then all of a sudden you get the first question, and you know, obviously, you know, probably question 10 through 15 was pretty tough on us because we struggled a little bit. But the second part of the test we breezed through pretty good because you gain a confidence from your preparation, and that's what our guys. That's what our guys did, and this group really understands that, you know. And it's a great thing about this game, you know. You get out of it exactly what you put into it, and you can't fake it, you know. And if you try to kind of take the shortcut during a week, then invariably sometimes that's going to come up and rear its head on you on Saturday. And you know, you could tell. You know, I knew Thursday, challenged them to see what Friday could be like. Friday was really, really good for us. We had great meetings last night. You know, we went for a walk this morning. They were great on the walk, you know. Usually when you go for a walk and then the walk's real good, you get excited about getting to the stadium whatever time they make us kick off. So,
Chip, Colt Layarla, he was recruited by some people as a linebacker. You used him at tight end. He was a running back in high school. Do you have any feel at all yet for what he really is, where he'll end up, and what his best spot is?
No, you know, it's a good question. You know, we'll continue. I think the one thing about him, you know, because he could be a linebacker, he could be a tight end, he could be a running back, is that his versatility is the key. And then, you know, that's a fun part of as a coaching staff is that you get, you know, you got some weapons that you can kind of, you know, say, hey, maybe we can do this or maybe we can do that. You know, and it's, you know, it's not a one-man show. And obviously to be successful long-term, it can't be a one-man show. So to see him emerge, you know, in a capacity that, you know, we felt he could do, but it was a matter of, you know, how much are we going to put on his plate? Let's kind of get him up to speed on where we are, and you're starting to see that. And it's the same thing. You know, he had a great week of practice himself, and see the confidence that he played with today. So.
we'll go right here. We've got Colt Ireland in the other room. We'll take a question here.
Coach Marcus, it's first conference game night, 4 games in. How would you assess where he's at, just from the mental standpoint now? Face a conference foe going forward.
Happy with Marcus' progress so far. I think he's grown in every game, and that's a great thing about Marcus is that he rarely makes the same mistake twice. But a lot of times you don't know what situation he's going to be in because it depends on how the game expresses itself. He's got such a great demeanor to him and such a great outlook on things. Always positive. Always wants to play the next snap. Always wants to, knows that I think we all know you're going to make mistakes. So no one this game. No one plays a perfect game, but it's about getting on to the next play, and that's what we keep preaching all the time. And he's a prime example of that.
Chip, EFO had a lot of big plays tonight, but it seems like teams aren't really throwing at Mitchell very often. Why is that?
That may be it's a good point, but it may be a question for Rich and us. We don't go in thinking that EFO is going to get more than T. Mitch. Sometimes it's just by design. I don't know. But I think we're confident in both those guys, and so if you're going to try to test EFO and try to stay away from Terrence, and I don't know if that was their game plan. Again, I don't know what Rich was trying to do, but if that's what you're going to do, we think EFO can step up, and I think that's what he certainly did today.
Coach, it looks like Colt a couple of times maybe struggled a little bit with that zone mesh handoff. Is that the most difficult thing he had to do to try to start carrying the ball a little bit more? Or is there something?
No, I thought he did a nice job with it. I think, you had 2 kids on that one play going in the end zone that both wanted to score. So, you got to talk to them. I think they decided midstream that we'll share this one. But I don't know if that was all Colt. That may have been Brian's eyes getting pretty big as we got towards the goal line. So.
They get a half touchdown each on that?
I don't know what they got. You check with Dave Williford, the statistician, on what we got out of that deal. So.
Brian, do you talk to him leading into a possession that he's going to be involved, or how does that work out?
Yeah, we just practice it, and he knows when we call for that personnel group that he's got to be up ready to go. So we were going to use it at any opportunity, and so he had to be prepared the whole game to go in and play. And it's nice to be able to have weapons like that you can bring in Brian in a game. You can bring Colt in at running back to complement what Marcus and DeAnthony and obviously Kenyon are doing back there. But it just really speaks to the depth that we have right now. So.